For decades, we called it Earth's evil twin. A Hell's Cape where lead melts and the air is pure acid. But as of January 2026, the focus has shifted from the scorching surface to the temperate clouds 50 kilometers above. Something is breathing in the Venusian sky, and it's a molecule that shouldn't be there, phosphine. The mystery deepened when researchers detected ammonia alongside phosphine. On Earth, ammonia is a byproduct of life. In Venus' sulfuric acid clouds, ammonia shouldn't exist unless something is actively producing it to neutralize the acid. Are we looking at extreme microbes that have built their own habitable bubbles within a sea of poison? As we look at Venus in early 2026, the data from the James Clerk Maxwell telescope is more consistent than ever. We are no longer asking if there is an anomaly. We are asking what is causing it. With NASA's Da Vinci and Veritas missions on the horizon, we might be the first generation to confirm that we are not alone in our own solar system. While the world looked at Mars, the Soviet Union had an obsession with Venus. Between 1970 and 1982, their Venera probes were the only machines ever to send back images from the surface. They survived for only minutes before melting. But what they captured in those final moments has been a source of controversy for decades. In 2012, Russian scientist Leonid Xanthomelides reanalyzed the original tapes. He pointed out objects that seemed to move. One looked like a disc, another like a scorpion. NASA dismissed them as lens caps or image noise. But Xanthomelides insisted. The objects appeared in one frame and vanished or changed shape in the next. Was he seeing artifacts of the camera, or life forms that thrive on heat? Now, in 2026, new AI-driven image restoration has revealed something even more disturbing. These shapes aren't just shadows. They possess symmetrical structures. If the surface of Venus is indeed an oven, these creatures might be silicon-based life, fundamentally different from anything on Earth. Could the Soviets have discovered alien life 50 years ago and kept it a secret? Imagine a world with blue oceans, white clouds, and lush green continents. This wasn't Earth, it was Venus, 3 billion years ago. New computer models in 2026 suggest that Venus remained habitable for longer than we ever thought. It was a paradise, a twin in every sense of the word. But something broke the balance. The runaway greenhouse effect. As the sun grew brighter, Venus's oceans began to simmer, then boil. Massive amounts of water vapor filled the atmosphere, trapping heat in a deadly cycle. In just a few million years, a garden was transformed into a pressure cooker. If there was a civilization there, they watched their world evaporate before their eyes. Where did they go? Some theorists suggest that as the surface became unlivable, the inhabitants of Venus retreated, either deep into the crust or upward into the clouds. This brings us back to the phosphine discovery. Are the microbes we see today the last, genetically modified remnants of a once great civilization, struggling to survive in the only hospitable zone left? Venus and Earth started as twins, but they took two different paths. Earth developed a carbon cycle that regulates its temperature. Venus lost its cycle and became a solar-powered oven. As we pump billions of tons of CO2 into our own atmosphere in 2026, the question is no longer about space exploration. It's about survival. Is Venus our past, or is it a terrifying preview of our future? The next decade will be the decade of Venus. NASA's Da Vinci Plus will plunge through the clouds, tasting the air for the first time in 40 years. Private missions, like Rocket Lab's Venus Lifefinder, are searching for organic molecules as we speak. We are on the verge of discovering if those phosphine clouds are home to the first extraterrestrial life ever confirmed. A discovery that would change everything. If the universe is full of life, why haven't we found anyone? Maybe because the great filter, the moment a civilization destroys its own climate, is harder to pass than we think. Venus might be the graveyard of a people who failed that test. As we look at the morning star, let it be a reminder. We have only one cradle, and it is far more fragile than it looks. Good night and keep looking up.